If you're like me and you've had trouble germinating your sweet corn this year, because this year in particular we've had a very cool and wet start to spring, it's meant that seeds have sat in their compost and they've just rotted away. Well, I've come across this hack which I've known for a long time, but I've only just tried, and it's blown my mind at how good it actually works. And my seed has germinated in 3 days, I kid you not. So I'm going to share with you that process today because it's not too late. So if you're watching this at the beginning of June and you're panicking, thinking, I'm not going to get any sweet corn because I'm too late because the mice have eaten my seeds, they won't germinate, just try this method like tomorrow and you'll be fine. So my first batch of seeds got eaten by mice, and then my second batch rotted away in the cell trays. So I was running out of time, and time is something that you're going to save. But one thing you do want to do is make sure you choose your varieties carefully. So my first 2 batches of seeds were quite unusual ones that I'm really sad to have lost. So I just went round to my nearest shop, which happened to be The Range, who sell the Wilco range of seeds, and I picked up some sweet corn seeds. And this variety is quite important because it's called Swift F1, and Swift is a very quick to harvest variety, which is what you want if you're sowing your seeds, you know, the back end of May or the beginning of June. See, on the packet here it says that on the sowing and planting guide we should be sowing them indoors between March and the beginning of May. At the end of May we need to be sowing them outside, but they'll just get eaten by mice, so be careful if you're going to try that. And then come June, which we're in now, we should be planting them out. But I haven't even got mine to germinate yet. So, also, if you're quite new to seed sowing and growing, I mean, the rules on these packets, you don't have to stick to them. It's not like black and white. It's not that clear cut. We can break the rules, you know, do what you want. But yes, using this method, yeah, it's just something I'm going to do forevermore now because I can't believe how quick it is. So for this method you're going to need 4 simple things. You're going to need your seeds, a Tupperware with a lid. This could be any form of packaging. A leftover takeaway container is my choice. You're going to need some kitchen roll and also some water, maybe a spray bottle, but just any old water will do. Don't worry about the bottle, you don't really need it. So all you need to do is take your Tupperware and you want a piece or 2 of kitchen towel. I'm sure you could get away with toilet paper if you don't have any. I'm just folding it over there and laying it down to make a little bit of a bed, like so. And you then want to wet this toilet paper, and you could either run it under the tap a little bit, or I'm just using a spray bottle so you get a bit more of an even distribution. You don't want it soaking wet that it's literally flooding with water, just enough to keep it a bit damp. You then take your seeds, they're all dried up and funny looking, and then just sprinkle them across the top of that kitchen towel. And then if you've got a spray bottle, you can just give it one more little spray just for luck, and then take the lid and put the lid on top like so. You then want to put your sweet corn seeds, just like this, in a windowsill, somewhere you're not going to forget about it. Maybe write sweet corn on the top so your other half or a family member doesn't put it in the dishwasher or in the bin thinking it's rubbish. And you wait, but you check it daily, morning and night if you really want to, but just remember to seal that lid back up so that it keeps in all of that humidity, because that environment here in a warm sunny spot like a window ledge at home, definitely not outside or in a shed or in a greenhouse. We want this in a temperature that's steady, stays the same, doesn't fluctuate. So I put this on a window ledge for a few days. I put the seeds in this container on Tuesday, and then by Friday evening I'd seen signs of germination. That first little sprout had started to come out, and now we're on day 4, which is the Saturday, and I will show you what they look like. And this is how the seeds are doing now on day 4, and you can see just how many little roots there are, that first little shoot that's come out. And this is very fresh seed, so you know we can expect fast results, and also pretty good germination rates. I can only see maybe 2 or 3 that haven't yet come out, but I imagine they probably will do. Just a case of giving them a little bit of extra time. But honestly, I couldn't believe it. You just really want to make sure that you're checking this every day, and don't place it anywhere that's going to be too hot. If the sun really directly hits that container, it's going to create heat, and then with that lack of airflow and oxygen, they could rot and get mouldy if you're not careful. So just be a bit careful on where you position them in your home and check them regularly. Now that mine have germinated, I'm going to be planting them into these individual cell trays where I will grow them on before I plant them out onto the allotment. You can also use this method to check your germination rates if you've got old seed. So perhaps you've had a packet of seeds hanging around in a cupboard or a box for a little while, a couple of years, and you're not sure if the seed is going to be viable, but you don't want to waste time in sowing it and wasting compost, you know, to find out that they're all dud because they're too old. Well, you can use this technique to test perhaps 10 of your pack and see what the germination rate is before you then sow the rest of your seed. Things like peas, beans, parsnips, but parsnips and carrots, they both don't live very long in a packet, but also you have to sow them direct. So you can't really go fiddling with that seed once it's germinated, because the root, which is obviously the whole vegetable, may end up a bit distorted. So I'd use this method to test a certain percentage of your seed, see how viable it is, and then cast the seed directly onto your soil for your carrots and your parsnips. So to sow my seeds, I'm just using a peat-free seed sowing compost, and the cell tray I'm using is quite deep, and that's for a good reason. In that sweet corn, when they grow, they shoot their roots right down and love a nice deep rooted cell. Obviously you could put them straight outdoors once they've germinated if you want to, if you've got your bed ready and you're quite sure that nothing's going to come along and eat them, but we've got rodents, snails, slugs, all sorts, so I like to give them the best start that they have, and to give them a good chance. So I'll grow them for, you know, make sure they're about 2 or 3 inches tall before I plant them out, which will probably be in about 2 weeks' time. Now I'm just going to give this water. I need to get it watered to make it sure it's nice and damp, but we're not going to saturate it so much that the seeds perish, just damp enough to keep them going and ticking along. And I'd always recommend watering your compost prior to putting the seed in, otherwise you could dislodge the seed and make it go deeper than it should be. And then I'm just going to make a very small dimple in the cell, just about 1 centimetre or so deep, and then trying to put that root downwards, and then just cover it over. And if you're not able to point it in the right way, don't worry, it'll figure itself out. Just don't put it too deep, that's the main thing. And also just be careful of that root. You know, we don't want this, you don't want to be doing this too late, in that you could damage this root because it's going to be very fragile. We're meant to have really good weather over the next couple of days, and tomorrow in particular is going to be 21 degrees C with sunshine and a lot of warmth in the air, which means if I put these into the polytunnel, they're going to grow really quickly, set down lots of roots, and I'm hoping that within the next 3 or 4 days I should see some signs of life above the compost level, which means it won't be long until I'm planting them out. So just keep them nice and warm in a sunny position, and try not to let those rodents get to them. I hope this method has been useful for you. Do let me know in the comments if you've done this before. What's your success rate? Has it saved you a whole batch of seeds? You know, let me know. But yeah, just really wanted to share and let you guys know that it's not too late to sow your sweet corn and your peas, particularly the peas. I mean, we can be sowing them right up to the start of July. Think about your successional sowing. Anyway, I better go. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.